Hi everybody, welcome back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, and in this video we're going to be looking at how you can learn the hardpoint rotations on the Shoot House map. And again, this is a method that you can use to learn the rotations of any hardpoint game, or I guess even things like Headquarters and any other game modes where the objective moves around the map. So the first things first, let's go to a local game. Let's create a local game. Let's go into the game setup, and of course we're going to choose Shoot House for the game. The mode is of course Hardpoint. And then in the game rules, I'm just going to change this time limit to 15 minutes. And then I'm going to go down, and I want you to change the zone lifetime down to 30 seconds, so that it changes pretty quick. And the way this is going to work is oh, no bots either, not any bots. The way it's going to work is I'm going to spawn into the map. There's going to be nobody else there, and for the first two rotations we're going to go with the map. So we're going to go, when it says move to this, we're going to run to that, we're going to run the next one. And then for the next two rotations, we're going to get ahead of the game. So we're going to move first. And it's all about trying to get these hard rotations, the order that these hard points change, into your head. And honestly, once you've done this probably 4 or 5 times, they will be in your head. And obviously the other thing to do is to write them down. So while we're here, before we actually go in, the rotations for Shoot House are, and these probably won't mean anything, but once we start running around the map they will. It starts off at the centre where the B flag is, if you've played Domination. Then it goes to the Shanty Town, which is by some barrels in, I would consider, the top right hand corner. Then it goes to the containers area. You probably know where that is. Then it goes to the Junkyard. Then it goes to the Forklift. Then it goes back to the centre, and it kind of starts again. So let's dive in, and you can kind of see this and start putting it into practice. And again, just run this drill on these maps by yourself, following, as I say, follow the hardpoint rotations around first, and then for a couple of goes, then for the next couple, go first, and just try and see if you can remember. So here we are, we've spawned. I think this is the A flag, isn't it? I think C flag is the other end. That's the map. So as we can see, the first hardpoint is referred to as centre. There's lots of ways of getting there. You might want to consider flanking around this way to kind of keep an eye. So this is going to be the hardpoint at the centre, and it kind of goes all the way around the outside of this box. So it's very, very exposed from multiple angles and lines of sight all over the map, as of most of the hardpoints in Shoot House. You know, there's nowhere to hide. You're going to be using. Here you go. You can see all the. You see the air around here. Probably the safest corner could be there, maybe. Okay, so we're going to get off the flag so we don't get to put too many points. So the next one is Shanty Town, which is actually in that top right corner. So here we go. A few seconds left. Now, the good thing about the Shanty Town map, the Shanty Town hardpoint, is there is a little bit of cover here. So as you can see, we've got this corner here. We've got behind these barrels here. That's a very nice little glitch there to keep an eye on there in between these rocks.
10 seconds, get ready to move.
And we could keep here. So the next hardpoint is going to be containers, which is over there, just by the entrance to the one of the entrances to the office.
Next hardpoint. Let's go.
And if you didn't know already, the way that the scoring works in hardpoint is that you get a point for every second that you're on the hardpoint. Now this is interesting. There's a good hidden area around here. And so if you're on the hardpoint for 20 seconds, you get 20 points. If you and a teammate are on the hardpoint for 20 seconds, you get 40 points. However, if there is an enemy on the hardpoint, nobody scores any points at all. So the next one is Junkyard, where the cars are, sort of over there. So here we go. Let's take this again. There's loads of ways. Let's go this way. And here we go. So now there's loads of cover here. Again, I'd always recommend you run a setup which includes the trophy system. Claymore's interesting. I'm running Claymores with this one. And then a smoke grenade. So the next one after this is the forklift, which is over there. So here we go. So this is quite an open one. So again, as you see, it's quite a large area. Probably one of the safest places to be would be to tuck in here. And you could hear people coming. Because you could have people running up there, people coming from here. And then after forklift, we're going to go back to the centre. So let's imagine this time that we want to try and hang on to centre a little bit. And all we've got is the setup I've got now. So really, you're going to be looking, you know, you're going to be popping smoke. You know, and probably putting down claymores or throwing flags and all that sort of stuff. So, after centre, can you remember what it is next? It's Shanty Town. It's a bit of a funny name, that one, but it's the one that's over there. But this time we're going to go this way. Right, so round to Shanty Town.
Hardpoint secured.
Put our trophy system up, so our trophy system will knock out any rockets or grenades or molotovs or smoke grenades or even cruise missiles that are coming down on us.
Get ready, we're about to move.
Now, can you remember what's next? It's Shanty Town. It's containers, which is over there. Out.
Get to the next one.
So along we go. Here's containers. So you've got quite a nice area here.
Hardpoint secured.
You can kind of limit sort of where you're being spotted from. I mean, we can all probably agree that suicide's staying in this bit.
Get ready, we're about to move.
But is it? Yeah, that's definitely the edge. Now, after containers, can you remember where it is? It's Junkyard with the cars that are over there. So around we go.
Get to the next one.
And we will be here.
Hardpoint secured.
Still got one of my old claymores. Now, if you are running shrapnel and restock as I am here, so you get 2 lethals, so in this case 2 claymores. Remember, you can only ever plant 2 claymores, so as I start planting another claymore, the other ones disappear. After Junkyard, can you remember where we're going next? It's Forklift, which is over there, so we'll go round this way.
Next hardpoint, let's go.
So that's forklift. Again, I'm not going to stay on the flag because if I get too many points, the game will end. We've still got a long way to go. So after forklift, do you remember where it goes?
Stand by to move.
After forklift, we go back to centre, which is down there. There we go. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to get ahead of the game. So the next one after centre is, can you remember? Shanty Town. So we're going to go now. We're going early. So the idea is that with doing this is that you get ahead of the game. You become like the spear of your team. So you can kind of get onto the hard point. You can set up some defences, you know, ready to get that hard point, score those first points for your team, and score those first XP points for you as well. So Shanty Town. So the next one is, can you remember? It's containers. So let's get ahead of the game again. And this is a good way, whereas maybe if you're not that great at killing people, that's why Hardpoint can be a great game mode for those of us who are slightly less accurate.
10 seconds, get ready to move.
By learning these hardpoint rotations, you can get an awful lot of points. You get 450 points every time you're the first person on the hardpoint. You know, so it's not to be sniffed at over a game. Right, so ready? Here we go. Right, we've got containers, and then the next one is Junkyard. So let's head over to Junkyard. In real life, when you're playing Hardpoint, where the hardpoints last a minute, I would suggest you probably start running for the new hardpoint if you haven't already died, with 20 seconds to go. to give you enough time to get to the hard point and get set up. If you're already dead or the enemies are really hanging on to the hard point, then you know, go earlier. So after Junkyard, do you remember? It's Forklift next, isn't it? So let's run over to Forklift. So, you know, we would run over here. I felt that's quite a badly placed claymore.
10 seconds, get ready to move.
Set up our trophy system, and you know, this hard point's good to go, ready to be defended. And after Forklift, it's back to centre again, isn't it? So let's
location secure.
Get to centre. Right, so we're into the final rotation after this one. It might, when you're playing Hardpoint, the number of rotations depends on the score, doesn't it? And if you get to the maximum score, then kind of finishes. But the beauty with Hardpoint is because the number of people you have on the Hardpoint is the amount of points you get per second. Even if you're, say, 50, 60, so we now go to Shanty Town now, don't we? Even if you're 50, 60, 70, maybe even 100 points behind, if you can get your whole team on a Hardpoint for the whole, you know, minute that the Hardpoint is live, you can come back from massive deficits and win. And that's also a reason why, even if you have a big lead, you shouldn't be complacent, and you should remember teams can get back. Now we're going to be heading over to containers next. So we capture this one. So let's go to the containers. Also, if you're on a hardpoint, you're about to capture a hardpoint that is very well held by enemies, remember there is an argument, if this was a live hardpoint, for just getting on the hardpoint and hiding in the smoke.
Get ready, we're about to move.
Because while you're on the hardpoint, the enemy will not be earning any points, and so by simply being there, you're denying them the opportunity to earn points. Now, do you remember what's after this one? So when this one containers activates, right? So now it would be over to get ahead of the game, it would be over to the Junkyard. Oop. Put the trophy system up there. And then, can you remember after Junkyard, it's Forklift, isn't it? So as soon as this one goes live, we'll get ahead of the game.
Hardpoint's moving. We've got the hardpoint.
And also, when you're playing Hardpoint, you don't always have to be the person who's the tip of the spear, who's taking the hardpoint. If you know that this is going to be the next hardpoint here, there's nothing wrong with you kind of hanging back over here and waiting for the enemies to try and get on it, and then shooting them all, you know, getting a load of kills in, so you can be ready to pick up some kill streaks.
Get to the next one.
Right, so we caught that. So the next flag would be hardpoint would be back to the centre. So hopefully this has given you a really good idea of what it's like to learn the hardpoint rotations in Shoot House. Honestly, just run this drill a few times and you'll get used to it when you're in a real game. You'll be amazed at how that tactical advantage helps you to enjoy hardpoint much more, and means you'll get to the top of that leaderboard better as well. So once again, the way that the rotation goes, it always starts at centre, and it goes into what they call Shanty Town at the back there. Then it goes over to the containers, which are over there. Then it comes back to the scrapyard, or the junkyard, which is there. Then it goes to the forklift in that corner. Then it comes back to the centre. There we go. Right, well, if you've got any questions or comments about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, please put them in the description, in the comments box down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.